Come on, shake that neighbor and say, neighbor, the word of the Lord is go forward. Tell him, I don't care what happened this year. God says you're going forward. Come on, tell him, I don't care what happened this week. God says you're going forward. The Lord is saying you've got to learn how to live in the now. You must not live in what was and what could have been and what should have been and what would have been and what may have been. But God said, I'm calling you into the now. You've got to let go of the past and move into the now. If you spell the word now backwards, you have the word W-O-N, which is one. You cannot enter into the word now until you experience a winning season. There's some things that are fighting you that don't want you to come into the now. But God said you've already won. You won against depression. You won against fear. You won against worry. You won against stress. You won against doubt. And now you are in your now. So God says if you're going to move forward, you've got to enter into a now season. But you can't get this now season until some things in your life die. Sometimes a death has to take place before new life can be resurrected. Sometimes you have to be separated from some things until God connects you to the right thing. Sometimes you've got to let the counterfeit go so the real thing can come. Stop wasting your time and your seasons talking about the past, thinking about the past, living in the past, and enter into the now. Shake your neighbor and say, I've been fighting, but I'm determined not to go back to my past. I'm fighting to remain in my now. I'm fighting to remain. I prayed too hard, I fasted too hard, I cried too much. I've got to stay in my now. And so I understand that death has to take place. I have to be separated from anything that can't go with me. This is why God is allowing you to go through some of the things that you've been going through, because he's scaling off, cutting off, separating everything that's not strong enough, weighty enough, anointed enough to go with you into your now season. Come on, tell your neighbor, everybody, everything can't go with you into the now. There's some stuff that must remain in the past, but God says only things that are ordained and appointed will enter into your now. My God, I cannot let leeches go into your now, because they're going to pull you back into what I delivered you from. I can't let weak folk go into your now. I can't let complaining folk go into your now. I can't let complacent folk go into your now, because they'll mess around and pull you down and pull you back. But God says Moses has got to die. Let the Lord separate some things and move you into now.